Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Manifest. I hope you guys are doing well today. So today's topic is the game Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None on the Wii. It's also on Steam, I believe. It's a 2005 title. I don't know. You know what? I actually don't know. When was Steam created? I hope it doesn't mean Steam. Okay, September 12th, 2003. Steam's 20 years old almost. Damn. It's gonna be able to drink next year. But anyway, it's on Steam. I don't know when it showed up on Steam, but 2005 is when and then there were none was released on the Wii. And I played it on stream. I actually just put up the first video yesterday, so you can always check that out if you'd like. Like I mean, I guess I think I can do the little thingies where it goes to a video when I get the little cards. I should experiment more with cards and things like that. I also have to be better at editing, but I really like doing stuff where I just record it once and then I upload it and I don't have to worry about it anymore. But the more I edit, the less of a pain in the ass it'll feel like. But stuff like this is just kind of me chatting about whatever. Um but anyway, I hope that you guys have had a good week so far and had a good Mother's Day, whether you celebrate or not, or you're a mom, or you have a mom. I mean, everybody has a mom, but sometimes relationships can be a little bit strained. Thankfully, I have a pretty good relationship with my mom. I actually just finished a oh my gosh, like hour long video chat with her and my siblings, and that was pretty great. But anyway, back onto the subject of things. I was immediately going to start talking about Dredge. I'm playing Dredge right now, but we'll talk about Dredge on the next Monday Manifest because by then I'll definitely be done with it. I think I'm getting close to the end. Yes, and then there were none. A Agatha Christie mystery game for the Wii, and it was great. It really was. It's it's from 2005 and it's on the Wii. So the art and animations definitely a little a little dated, but it's fine. It was very charming looking for the time. And I try to look at things like and judge them based on the time they came out rather than it being 2025 and we've got like the Switch 2 coming out and the PS5 and Xbox One X and 4K and 8K where you can see everybody's pores. I liked it. It controlled fairly well. It was basically just kind of a point and click for everything. Um, but hilariously enough, I was playing it on an emulator because I obviously don't own it on my Wii U, or Wii. But there are some motion control parts that are not really explained. So you're just kind of you'll just like click on an item. Like one of them was a water pump. And obviously, if you had the Wiimote, you just make probably like water pump motions. Doing it on an emulator when you don't have a Wii U attached is like doing advanced calculus because you basically I was playing it on Dolphin, and on Dolphin you can emulate like the Wiimote movement in various angles and ways. Like there's one that like bobs it, there's one that does like twisting left, right, there's one for like tilting forward and back. So I just had to like putz around and figure out a way to emulate like certain motions like pumping and twisting and like it's insane. And I left a few of the segments in. There's one infamous segment later on where I'm trying to pump up I'm trying to pump up like a lifeboat, like an inflatable raft type boat, and it took me over 20 minutes to pump that thing up. It was insane. I cut out 99% of that because I was like, look, on one hand, that seems like it might be kind of entertaining, but on the other hand, this is 20 minutes of nothing happening and just seeing me like you because you can't even see you just see the game. The menus are going on in the background while I'm messing with like trajectory and like velocity and other things to try to get the perfect mix to pump a goddamn like bicycle air pump. And I'm sure if I was playing it on the actual Wii, it would have been way easier because you just are like, hey, you hold it like this and you pump and you're good, probably. Um, and there's another one actually, another Agatha Christie one on the Wii that probably does similar stuff. I'm gonna see if I can get it onto my Wii U, and just because that would make things way easier, just to play it on native hardware instead of trying to have keyboard shortcuts that don't always work. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, honestly. Incredibly convoluted. I'm sure there are other mystery games very similar, but basically, you can pick up so many things, and probably 70 to 80% of the stuff you pick up is either to read once and it stays in your inventory, or it literally does nothing. Like I had to do this part where I like scooped some flour and I got batteries for a flashlight in it. Don't ask me why they were in the flour. And then I also ended up I got rid of the scoop, but I had a small amount of flour just in my inventory. No way to get rid of it. And there's like so many cases where you just have stuff sitting in your inventory. So you're like, maybe it's important, but you just end up MacGyvering other things together and then doing other like, oh, it was very charming and kind of ridiculous and just it was a lot of fun to go through. Like I said, it is on Steam. I would probably recommend playing that unless you can somehow find a copy of it for Wii or if you have a way to get it onto your Wii. I would not recommend playing it emulated because th- trying to emulate like Wiimote motion stuff is a nightmare. I say that from experience. Um, but it was great. Like I was a little disappointed at first because I've been watching and playing so many like Poirot games. I just assumed when I booted it up, I was like, oh, it's another Poirot game. No, you're just playing some random dude named like Philip. You Patrick or is Philip the other? Yeah, I didn't get a grasp of everybody's names from the start because there's a lot of people in that game. Um, well, there's only like 10, but I mean, 10 is still a lot of names to remember, over the course of a game. But it was fun. It was charming. Like I said, if you're interested, just check out the video that went out and you can see like how it goes. I honestly, it's so funny. Like the first chapter takes the longest because I'm really like getting my bearings and figuring out how to navigate around the mansion I'm in. Although I never fully grasp where everybody's rooms are at because it's kind of the view, it's all like static backgrounds that you're just kind of wandering around. So sometimes it's easy to get a little turned around. And I did use a guide to get through because, I was streaming it and I'm like, I want to get through this in a timely manner and some of those solutions I would have never figured out on my own. So yeah, but I mean it definitely works out the brain for sure. But it was definitely fun to go through and it's nice to play like older mystery games like that on like say what you will about the Wii. The Wii definitely had like a lot of bangers on it and the motion controls were either really good or pretty terrible, but it definitely opened up a lot of different things and there were definitely a lot of franchises and other things that made it to the Wii that honestly made it even better. So yeah, Agatha Christie, and then there were none. I really should like read the novels that all of these things are based off of because I've been in like I've been consuming so much of the media, watching the Poirot the British Poirot series, like the actual series. We watch the movies too, but after watching David Suchet and in Poirot, it's like it's really hard to separate him from it because that's just who it is now. And apparently they're gonna do a new docu series, and I'm very excited for that because I really want to check that out. But yeah, yeah. And then there were none. It's a fun little mystery puzzle game, point and click, a bit convoluted. Good voice acting though. Um, like the premise of it is pretty cool too. Uh, if you don't want to struggle too much, highly recommend looking up a guide going through it. I know that takes a little bit of the mystery out, but if you find yourself struggling, it's worth it to get through the story. Sometimes there's some hurdles that you might not figure out on your own. And yeah, that's the Monday Manifest for this. I could go into more depth about it, but then that would just end up spoiling things. So all you need to know is that it's a murder mystery from our sweet Agatha Christie. And so that's the end of our Monday Manifest. Next week we will be talking about Dredge. I know, crazy. I actually know beforehand, but it's because I got kind of obsessed with Dredge. I actually streamed it today before I went on a video call with my mom and watched Poirot. And I'm probably going to play it again as soon as I finish this recording and just finish it off stream because I want to play it and I don't want to wait until I tend to get a little fixated on games if I like them, and it's better for me to just flush it out of my system, get it all over with, and then I can just kind of be like, cool, now we can go on to the next thing. So don't worry, we'll get back to our regularly scheduled uploads of Dragon Quest Builders and also Sea of Stars, but I think there might be a short break where I put in and then there were none and Dredge because they're fairly short compared to the other games. So it's probably good to mix it up a little bit. Either that or I could just kind of have all four of them running so there's a constant stream. But I figured people might not want to wait like 3 weeks to see the conclusion of Dredge or and then there were none. You guys have a great rest of your week. As always, if you like what you see, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. And until next time, just enjoy your week. Ciao.